Hey, what's going on, guys? I want to do another video real quick. Don't know how long this one's going to take. This is going to be something completely different. This one is about fear-mongering and scare tactics. I don't like this political atmosphere of scare tactics and fear-mongering. I think it's despicable, in my opinion. I think it's really despicable. And I'm going to bring up a couple examples of what I feel how these scare tactics are being used. And in my opinion, scare tactics are something that's used to get you to submit to something, which is one of the reasons why I don't like it. You shouldn't have to submit to something through fear. One of the things, and if you look at the tactics of some of these people in politics, and a lot of the people in politics use it, and I'm not talking just straight up left and right, although it does seem to be used more on the left than it does on the right. But one of them is climate change. Back in my day, it was called global warming. So technically, here's a little bit of an education for all you people that did your nice little strike for climate change. When I was going through school, it was, like I said, it was global warming. And technically, from what they told us, is technically right now I am supposed to be dead. And all of you that are actually walking and doing your nice little strike shouldn't even be here. Yet here we are. One of the other things is guns. They're scaring you into believing that when you go to school, you're going to be shot by some freaking clown. And you're going to be killed by some freaking clown. You will never be able to legislate evil. The only thing that you're going to do is when you legislate trying with the assumption that you are legislating to try to get rid of evil, you create more evil. Another example of, and I'll get into the climate change thing as well again. Another thing that I think that is another scare tactic, one of them is the church. The church would use a scare tactic vis-a-vis, you don't believe in this, you go here and you will spend eternity here. And they keep bringing up that particular place. Okay? Essentially, bringing fear, and this is why I particularly didn't like it, and one of my friends mentioned this as well when we would have our deep conversations and things like that. He also confided me into this. He said, one of the things that drew me away from the church was because of the fear-mongering. The scare tactics. Scaring you enough into believing into something. You should believe in something out of your own education and your own free will, not through fear. And look at who they target. They target young, naive children. And I don't like that. I don't like how they use children to do this. And even when you look at history books, there's a good video. I'm sorry, I cannot remember her name. But she talks about, she was in Austria when Hitler took power. And she talks about when she was in school, what they would do before school. You know, just like what we would do, you know, the Pledge of Allegiance and, you know, things like that. I believe it was, I think what she said was they would, I believe God was mentioned, and I also believe their country was mentioned when they would stand up and get the morning going. She said as soon as Hitler took power, you were no longer doing that in the morning. You were swearing allegiance to him. A fear tactic. Because now you're swearing to somebody that can cause harm on you. So what would happen if you didn't swear allegiance to Hitler? What do you think would happen to you? Fear tactic. Getting you to submit without question. Now here's the other thing about climate change. There's no human being on this earth that is ever going to understand how this earth works. Nobody. You'll never find it. You'll never know how this earth works. The only thing that you could do is just come up with assumptions. My idea with this is the earth is round, it spins around, all of the planets are round, it's cyclical. The planet is going to do what it's going to do regardless of our behavior. Now, should we be looking for alternative sources of fuel and energy? Yeah, I think we should. I think we can. But walking out of school and essentially saying we need to be off of fossil fuels in 8 years, otherwise we're going to die, that is a fear tactic. That is scaremongering. Especially when you don't have an alternative source. There's no alternative source that's more efficient than what we have going on right now. So essentially, you are coming out of school and protesting, telling adults to stop living the lives that they're living that makes it easier for them and easier for you to get food, to go places, to see the country, to see the world. You're essentially telling your parents to stop doing that with no alternative. There's no alternative. So instead, you decide to walk out and do a climate strike and say we need to end all of this stuff, otherwise we're going to die with no alternative. How about this? How about stay in school and try to figure out a different or alternative source of fuel that is a lot better than the energy sources that we have out here now? And since you guys like to be a little bit naive, and it's not really your fault. I don't really blame you guys, because I was treated the same way as a kid. You know, they're going to fearmonger you into doing stupid stuff. And yeah, this is stupid. Without researching it, without looking into it, and you're not even leading by example. So, if you really want to get off of fossil fuels, I would like all of you young kids to look up the products that oil provides for you. Gasoline is a byproduct of oil, which means when you pump oil out of the ground, the other things that you're making with that oil, that byproduct off of what you're making turns into fuel. So, since you want to be little freaking pawns and sheep of a certain group, how about lead by example? How about this? Start walking to school. You don't need buses anymore. Walk to school. Tell your parents to get rid of their cars. And while you're at it, you could tell all those truckers to stop shipping food to all the grocery stores and all that stuff. Tell your parents they need to start walking to the grocery store to pick up their food. But yeah, you're not going to get that because all of that shipping to go to those stores is not going to be there because you eliminated your fossil fuels. Okay, so let's how about start growing your own food? See, what they're doing is they're basically taking you, because this doesn't affect you yet. It's not going to affect you until you start working and start paying taxes. Because that's all they want. They just want your money. They don't give a shit about the planet. They don't care. Because if they really cared about the planet, we wouldn't be getting any type of products from China. We wouldn't be getting anything from India, which pollute a lot more than we do. So all of the products that are made with oil, how come women haven't stopped wearing makeup? Makeup is made from oil. Say bye-bye to Vaseline. Say bye-bye to your concrete foundations, because yes, you need oil to make concrete. Then how are you going to get that concrete to make houses? See, it doesn't affect you yet. They're going after the people. They're trying to fearmonger to the people that it has not affected yet. Once it starts to affect you, Then you start changing your tune. Now all of a sudden, wait a minute, you start thinking, wait a minute, this doesn't make any sense. And it's true. Whenever, and think about this. If I came up to you, just a random person, I come up to you and I say, you need to give me $50 so I can combat climate change. Are you going to give me $50? I don't think you would. I don't think anybody would. If I came up to any one of you students and told you, you need to give me $50 so I can combat climate change, without even asking, or without even telling you how I'm going to do it. See, once you start getting older and once you start looking at the government and you start realizing the government is full of fucking shit. They just want your money. That's it. They don't care about anything. They don't care about this planet. They don't care about anything. They care about your money. They want your money so they could take that money, open up another useless bureaucracy, and that useless bureaucracy will be filled with nothing but their friends taking your money. And then once you break everything down to where if you send $1 through the government, after everything's paid, the employee's paid, the agency is paid, the benefits are paid, you're probably only coming out with about 10 cents on that dollar. And the efficiency goes away. So, the other thing is, all those nice little vacations that you and your family like to take on, you need to tell your parents we ain't taking no vacations anymore. And if you're a parent of any of these children that do this shit, just tell them, sorry, we can't take any vacations anymore due to climate change. Then once it starts to affect you and it starts to affect your daily life and makes your daily life worse, maybe you'll start singing a different tune. Take it easy, guys. Peace.